Well, good evening. Here it is, Thursday Night Football, and we are back again. Jimmy over in Phoenix, and then also Jed over in the suburb of Illinois.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm really happy. Josh Allen's doing well. I'm a little disappointed. I should have picked up Dalton Kincaid, but I decided to stick with Jonnu Smith for one more week.
Well, and plus at the same time, here we are with Gabe Davis. Again, look, a lot of times we don't always have confidence in the Gabe Davis. We always think that Stephon Diggs would do well. And plus, at the same time, the Tampa Bay defense is not bad, but Gabe Davis keeps getting touchdowns here. Yeah. And as usual, they keep running Latavius Murray in the red zone and never James Cook.
I'm very you would think they are so determined to have this running back committee thing going on. And I just wish that they would just give the ball to James Cook and get it over with.
Yeah. Well, hey, before we start, I was actually in Austin, Texas this week. And this one person I was meeting with, she asked me, have you ever heard of a guy named Matthew Berry? I said, yes, I've heard of Matthew Berry. She says, we're childhood friends. Here, let me text him. So she started texting him. And later on, this is the video that Matthew sent her today.
Tommy is your old pal, Matthew Berry. And by old pal, I mean old pal adjacent, because we've never met, but you're friends with Monica, and Monica is my old friend. So you're kind of, old friend adjacent there. And so any friend of Monica's is a friend of mine. She tells me you're a fan. You have been a reader, listener, watcher for a long time. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So just wanted to say hi and wish you well. May all your backups become starters. May you never have a player get down at the 1 yard line. May you never step out of bounds at the one. May you never have a touchdown called back due to penalty. May you never be vultured at the goal line. May you never have a pass intended for one of your guys suddenly be caught by some backup tight end because he ran the wrong route. May you never lose on a stat correction. May all your flex plays work out. May all your Monday night miracles come through. May all your backups become starters. May you never have a trade vetoed. May you never drop a guy and then have somebody else pick that guy up and then use that player against you the following week to beat you because that's the worst. May you stay healthy. May your team stay healthy, and may you stay healthy. I hope your season's going great, and I'm just sending you good fantasy karma through the phone right here to crush it the rest of the year. Appreciate you, Tommy. Much love.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Wow, that was great. Yeah. That was so good.
Yeah.
So, man, that was it. You can tell, I wonder if he's done those before, because my oldest son, for his birthday, my brother-in-law got him a recording from Lamar. Is that Lamar Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah, LaMelo Bell's dad, and it was hilarious. He did this whole he got it from Cameo, I think, but it was like that. He did this whole thing, so it sounds like, I bet Matthew Berry does those, because that was very well, he quoted that really well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and so I was very, very appreciative of it as well too. So
we were just saying, I mean, he was great. Matthew Berry to me is one of the original fantasy, sportscasters. He really pushed it early on. So that's so cool.
Well, and I was telling you, a lot of times he was a writer for Married with Children for the longest time. A very, very successful sitcom way back. Now, it probably wouldn't do well now, but back in the day, it was great.
No, okay. So as an aside, I want to talk about fantasy football, but did you know that they're creating a sequel to Married with Children, but an animated one? So it's an animated Married with Children, and all of them are slated to come back as their characters.
Yeah. Wow. The only problem with that one is a lot of times this was announced before Christina Applegate was diagnosed with MS. So
really?
Yeah. So she doesn't know if she could do it or not.
By the way, have you guys been watching the new Frasier? I've been watching the new Frasier. It's not that good.
There's a new Frasier?
Yeah, it's Frasier, who moved from Seattle to Chicago, and now he's moving from Chicago to Boston, and he's trying to reestablish a relationship with his son, and Niles' son is one of the roommates as well too.
Wow.
So essentially he's playing the father figure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I watched the first 2 episodes. Now, there was a scene where Niles' son, Frazier had the original dirt, or Frazier's son had the original dirt where David Ortiz played the World Series, and Niles, his son, didn't know what it was, so he thought it was just a thing of dirt, and he dumped it back in a potted plant.
That's funny.
This is what happens in real time. Jed, you decided you picked up Quay Walker and dropped Jordan Mason, huh?
Yes.
Actually, Walker's pretty good. He's been injured the last couple of days, but
So I'm planning ahead. So next week, one of my defensive guys is on a bye, and I don't need Jordan Mason, so might as well get his replacement this week.
Yeah. Well, Mason, I mean, McCaffrey's been playing like we thought Mason was going to be the starter, but McCaffrey played 100% of all of the plays last week. So
and the only it was Mitchell that got Elijah Mitchell's the one that got in. So I think dropping Mason is safe.
Yeah. Anyways, Tom, you good if we run through a couple things? Okay.
Yep.
Thursday night. Okay. Any observations from this game as we're watching it in real time?
Yes, Jed. Jimmy keeps trying to trade me Chris Godwin. I don't want Chris Godwin.
He's doing really well. You see how well he scored a touchdown today. He actually is doing pretty decent.
Yeah, but
Evans.
All right, Jed. Do you want Chris Godwin or do you want George Pickett? He keeps sending me, or George Pickens. He keeps trying to send me Chris Godwin for George Pickens. I said, I actually
think that's a pretty fair trade. I do want George Pickens, but I was like, Chris Godwin's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if Godwin could get back to his old self, it would. This season I would rather have Pickens than Godwin. I agree. But
number one wide receiver.
Baker Mayfield has been doing much better than everyone's. I mean, he's been serviceable, so it's been good.
I don't know. Well, right now, stinking Latavius Murray is in. The Bills are up 24-10. I'm waiting for James Cook to be the workhorse, and they keep putting Latavius Murray in. Dalton Kincaid is doing great. I think he's got double digits in the last few weeks. And now that Dawson Knox is injured, they're thinking that Dalton Kincaid is going to be like pretty good, as the tight end. Here's a reception from Latavius Murray from Josh Allen again. Stinking.
Yeah, I've been staying away from the Buffalo Bills backfield. I think that's it's just too hard to predict. So
yeah. Anyways, hey, let me run through a couple of news and notes. Tom, did you see that Kenneth Walker remains sidelined for Thursday's practice? That's one of the reasons why I've been keeping Zach Charbonnet on my bench, and even though he's been doing nothing, but I'm hoping there will come a point that he will be the starter over Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Now, Jed and Jim, I'm hoping that I will not come back to regret one of my trades. I traded Lamar Jackson for Trevor Lawrence and Kenneth Walker. So hopefully it doesn't come back and bite me here. I'm looking at Lamar Jackson had a wonderful game, 46 points. But yet at the same time, the games before that was 20, 20, 20, 18. And so I said, well, Trevor Lawrence gets about 18. Kenneth Walker gets about 18, 19 as well, too. So I made that chance. I hope I don't go back and regret it.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson did really well last week. And I still think that Kenneth Walker is not going to finish up the entire season.
Yeah, but at the same time,
I dropped Charbonnet in. Go ahead, Tommy.
No, I love Kenneth Walker. So go ahead, Jed.
No, I was just saying I just dropped him last week, Charbonnet, because I picked up, I think, Jaylen Warren. I needed a running back. And so, man, I hope he doesn't go off this week.
Wait. Did you drop him in our Dynasty League?
No, not in our Dynasty.
Because I have him in my Dynasty. Dynasty.
Yeah, in my work league, I dropped him. So I had been holding him for so long. And then last week I had a couple injuries. And so last week I needed to so I had David Montgomery in that league. And so I needed to get a replacement. Yeah. So that's where I went. Well, but I was going to say with Lamar Jackson, the other good thing about that is if you've been holding on to Mark Andrews, he's been doing really well, and so he had a nice game last week.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, he's been talked about for MVP candidate, and I think he's doing well. But anyways, Kenneth Walker remains sidelined for Thursday. Zach Charbonnet is now upgraded to full for Thursday's practice. A couple other news: DK Metcalf is coming back for this week, but Tyler Lockett is now sidelined for practice this week.
Yeah.
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 Do you guys like Jackson Smith Najigba?
He's a big receiver, but at the same time, let's see. As long as those guys are there, he just is minor. So, but then if any of those guys are out for a longer period of time, he would be very good.
Yeah. Roshan Johnson is still in concussion protocol.
Oh, he's out now.
Oh, is he out now? Oh, okay.
He's out.
Oh, yeah. He cleared leagues. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you guys playing? Roshan or Deontay Foreman? Who
No,
did?
Deontay Foreman.
Foreman went nuts. That was insane. He went crazy.
Yeah. But no, remember last year when he was with the Panthers, he had one game where he did really well, but then him and Chuba Hubbard essentially were a two-back committee. So I just don't know if he's going to duplicate something like this again.
But at the same time, a lot of times I think they're going to go with the Khalil Herbert route that they had. Khalil Herbert played the first two series. Roshan Johnson came in for the other two series. Then they kept rotating 2-2-2. Now with Roshan Johnson, probably maybe one or two. So I bet you a lot of 3 series and then 1 series or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey
Okay,
guys, in my work league, I was telling you about that I dropped Charbonnet. Miles Sanders is available because I think he was injured a couple weeks ago, and now he's sitting at the top of the waiver wire. What do you guys think?
Well, that's what I was going to say, Miles Sanders, or do you think it's going to be Chuba Hubbard who's going to end up being the starter there?
Yeah, and I've got Kareem Hunt too. So, like, of those 3, who would you guys go for?
Jed, I mean, Miles Sanders is just so uninspiring. But if you want 5 or 6 points, I would say Kareem Hunt. That's what I would do with.
Yeah,
I would go for Yeah, he's the clear number 1 back.
Yeah.
Right. I think Hubbard's going to take things away from Miles Sanders.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, speaking of which, your work league, are they pretty good about picking up like players on the waiver wire?
Yeah, they are. It's pretty competitive. And plus it's 12 teams, so that makes it tricky. But I'm doing pretty well in that league. I won that league last year, so
how's the stat guy? How's the guy who's doing it purely by stat?
Yeah, not good. He was in last. He finally won, I think, a couple weeks ago, so he's starting to come back. But it's interesting. I think it just shows you can't just go pure stats. You've got to have some knowledge, particularly for matchups. You've got to have some knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
Give me are in this 14-team league. There really is no movement because there's no one you could pick up.
Yeah,
it is a bore unless you're making trades and you get some dumb trades. I've gotten offers for Achan. And so Roshan Johnson has been traded for me. All these different players. There's just nothing in a 14-team league.
You know what you got to do in a 14-team league is you got to drop the number of positions. So you can't, like, how many flex do you have in that position?
I think they have 3 flexes.
See, that's not smart. You got to drop all those. It's just like our basketball league, Tommy. Like, you have to have it so that the free agent pool is like decent. Otherwise, it's just going to be boring. Everyone's just going to stick with their set roster.
By the way, later on, I want to talk about Wembanyama and why you decided to go forward with him and spend $150.
Because he's so fun. But yeah, we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
By the way, Jed, do we have enough free agent spots for movement over in our league?
Yeah, I mean, I would take in our league. I would take out a flex spot. I don't like the fact that we have that many flex. But
actually, I was thinking about the same thing. I actually went in if you can get a couple more people on the bench. That does provide some movement. Otherwise, people are just stashing these guys and leaving them.
Exactly. I mean, look at us. That's what we're doing. Like the fact that Jimmy could hang on to Charbonnet for so long, like it's not good. Like you want to push that.
Hey, I like Charbonnet. Considering did you see you beat me last week in our dynasty? I actually thought I had a decent chance.
You did.
But my Bijan Robinson did not do anything. Ford went out. Eckler the last couple of weeks has not done anything, and Calvin Ridley at 1 point, right? So,
yeah.
But what do you call it? McCaffrey almost won it, but then your guy just went off.
Yeah, Addison saved me last week. Oh no, what happened last week was you were really unlucky because I had I don't know how to pronounce his name, the Jacksonville linebacker Olukun.
Oh yeah. He
22 points.
Yeah.
So,
and Bijan and Eckler, who I usually rely on, they got me nothing. And Calvin Ridley, 1 point. Like one measly reception from Calvin Ridley.
Right. This linebacker, he scored a touchdown. That's why. So I got all those points.
Now, I would say in the 14-team league that Jimmy and I were playing on, I traded Bijan Robinson and Jalen Waddle
Ooh.
for Taylor. Taylor, who else did I trade it for? Taylor, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones. That has helped me a lot.
Yeah, and Taylor is starting. Like last week, he finally looked. I was just trying to look up his points because I've got Taylor in one other league, and he was finally starting to come around last week. So I'm expecting he'll start rounding into form. So if you have him, if you've been waiting at all, definitely this is the week to start playing.
Hey guys, Brock Purdy, he's in concussion protocol. So most likely Sam Darnold is going to be the starting quarterback. Do you expect much from Sam Darnold?
Wow, Sam Darnold. No.
Yeah.
No, I do not expect much.
I don't know. He's this is the best team that guy's on. If he's going to do something, it's going to be this team. Remember, he was number 2 draft pick.
Yeah, but he was terrible in New York. He was terrible. Wait, who are they playing? 49ers?
They are.
Did I say they were playing the 49ers? I thought that's what they were.
I forgot.
But at the same time, Sam Darnold is the San Francisco.
Oh, no, Bengals. 49ers,
Bengals, yeah.
The San Francisco system is very, very good. Look, you had a Nick Mullins who did very well. And so a lot of times when you play in the San Francisco 49ers system under Kyle Shanahan, you do then, well, maybe not Trey Lance, but at the same time, I actually think he'll do okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Tough game. Bengals haven't been great this year, but that's a tough game.
Okay, now here's a question that I know we're going to talk about starter sit, but let me ask you guys this quick question: is who would you rather play? I have to pick between DJ Moore or Ayuk.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah,
I still pick Ayuk.
Yeah, but with Sam Darnold, no, I think I
no. But you got Tyler Badgett or whatever his name is, right?
But he's all he did was throw to Moore. Moore's like the only guy he threw to.
No, I think I still trust that Kyle Shanahan.
They're playing the Chargers.
They're playing the
It's a
Chargers.
Monday night game.
Yeah,
they're gonna look. The Bears are gonna be throwing it a ton. They're gonna be behind by. I'm picking DJ Moore
because Pageant is your next Brock Purdy.
Yeah, that's right. I'm picking DJ Moore on that.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think when Fields comes back, when Fields is not injured anymore, you think they're going to play him?
No. Yeah. My prediction is Pageant is going to do so well. They're going to go with Pageant for the rest of the season and bypass Caleb Williams because he's your next Brock Purdy.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's not a good.
You know what? Here's the thing: they're going to have to play Fields, right?
Yeah.
But I do think Pageant is going to win this game against the Chargers.
Wow, and you do?
I actually think he's going to win, right? He's actually a decent quarterback. He's not throwing a lot, but I actually think he's a decent.
Wait, the Bears are going to win against the Chargers this week?
Okay, and this is what I think. I think Roshan and Deontay Foreman is going to split the carries. Foreman's going to do better. I think he may score 1 touchdown, but he's not going to score 3. But Roshan Johnson is going to be the one that you want out of the 2 running backs. That's what I think.
But you think the Bears are going to beat the Chargers?
I think they're going to beat the Chargers on Monday night. Correct.
You know why, right, Jed? Which in some sense, I agree with him because the secondary keeps ignoring Brandon Staley every single time he says one thing, they do opposite.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy. The Chargers are 9-point favorites. They're that's the second highest spread next week.
Hey, you should place a bet on that. Did you know that Brandon Staley used to be on the one of the defensive coaches for the Chicago Bears?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Daniel Jones is most likely going to be out. Tyrod Taylor. They actually won last week. Waller's doing better. Saquon is doing good. Do you guys like any players on the New York Giants?
Only Waller. Waller's the only guy I like.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley.
No, Saquon's not bad.
I don't even like Saquon. Like I don't know. I've never liked Saquon. He was consensus like top 10 pick this year, but he hasn't performed like that.
Mm. Hey, I was gonna tell you. Did you guys know who per average per game in terms of the most effective fantasy running back this season per game?
Raheem Mostert.
Nope.
Wait, per game. Per
Per
game.
per game, the most effective. No, the second. Okay, the most effective running back is Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, yeah.
But guess who's number two? Guess who's number two?
I bet I know.
Yeah,
It's
who?
Jalen Warren.
Nope.
No,
Kyren Williams.
because Jalen Warren averages 7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
7.3 yards a carry. That's insane.
But no, but did you see last week? Najee Harris scored a touchdown. He started doing pretty good last week.
Yeah, but you were saying per like this the
Per
question
game, yes,
was
per game.
Oh, per game, not
Per game. You know who's
carry.
doing so well?
Okay.
Alvin Kamara.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that guy. They have been feeding him the ball so much,
Okay.
but they said now that Jamal Williams is back, they're not going to see as much production. But they were debating that today on ESPN. So, yeah.
Jamal Williams is so fun. I like him.
Yeah. All right, here. Let me run through a couple of things for you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a couple players, and I want you to tell me
Actually, Jim, you missed a couple of big injuries.
who.
Tyreek Hill injured, has not practiced. He may
Questionable.
not play this week.
No,
Oh,
he
really?
was
I didn't see
limited. He was questionable. Then he came in limited today. He
Yeah.
said he's playing. He's playing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that he was playing.
He's playing.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert, what about him?
Let's see.
Ankle
I'm pulling
injury?
it up. I don't know.
Limited participant. So yeah, they both sat out on Wednesday. He was a limited participant today. He should be upgraded to full participant tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
I think
tomorrow's
both
the
those.
big
I
day.
think both those guys are slated to play.
Yeah, they'll play.
Yeah, that's why I didn't touch on them. But I am keeping Jeff Wilson just in case Raheem Mostert is out and Achane is still out as well too.
I am keeping Chase Claypool just in case.
No way. Did you guys see the stat? The stat is that every time that Chase Claypool goes on a team, they
Yeah,
start-
Yeah, they start losing. Yeah, that was funny. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
sitting Calvin Ridley finally this week.
Me
This
too.
is the
You know
week
what?
that
I'm sitting
seeing.
him out as well too. Calvin
Yeah.
Ridley is, but here's my thing: is the first game of the season. Did you know the two leading receivers for Jacksonville was Zay Flowers or Zay? What's his name? Is it Zay Flowers? Not Zay Flowers.
That's a decent.
Zay
one.
Jones.
Zay Jones and also Calvin Ridley. But after that, Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm still playing Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback, but I'm not playing Ridley anymore. But I've got Addison and Ayuk, so that's pretty. Addison has been great.
I think
Addison's
Addison's a good
so
player.
good.
Addison.
Yeah.
Jed, would you
You
keep
know-
Addison? Would you keep Addison on your dynasty
Keeper,
league?
yeah. I was just thinking that probably, man.
Minnesota always knows how to find wide receivers. They always find wide receivers.
Oh, okay. So here's a question. Going back to Minnesota, Madison or Akers? Who's going to be the running back going towards the second half of the season?
I saw
think-
your wife picked up Akers.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be Cam Akers.
Yeah, I agree. I think the second half, I think Akers is going to take over, and Tommy's going to lose his mind.
Hey, Jed, I told her to. Wait. Who was it? Charlene picked up Akers?
Yeah, Charlene picked up Akers.
Charlene didn't pick up Akers. Tommy told her to pick up Akers.
Exactly.
He doesn't know who Akers is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
okay. It's good to. That's good. It's good for your marriage.
Do you think Akers is going to be the number one running back versus Madison?
Yeah, in the second half, I think he will. And also, though, let me say this: the Vikings, man, I think, and they won last week, but I think this second half, you're going to see the Vikings really start to dominate. That is a good team. They've just had just a little bit of bad luck to start the season, and obviously Jefferson being out is a big deal. But I think that team still can play really well for the second half,
Yeah.
and so Akers could be the big beneficiary of that.
All right. Second half. Looking at this because we're week 8 already, but looking second half. Darren Waller or moving forward, who's going to be better? Kyle Pitts.
That's a tough one. I picked up Pitts in one league. He got dropped. Yeah.
Darren
He's
Waller.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah, Darren
Waller's
Waller.
turned it on. He's had a pretty good last couple weeks, so I would agree with that.
Well, they
And
also
more
said
so,
Tyrod
right?
Taylor.
More so, Jed, they have no one else.
Yeah, exactly. That's my argument for DJ Moore. They got no one else to throw to. They got to throw to somebody.
Cole Kmet. They got Cole Kmet. And then they got their running backs that can always throw to. Yeah. All right. Here's the other one. Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
I think Derrick Henry might be traded from the Titans.
Exactly, which would be good. If he does, then I'm going to keep him in our keeper.
Yeah, I think he's nearing towards the end. That's why I've been keeping what's his name? Who's the backup for him? For Derrick Henry, I've been keeping him on
Tajay Sharp.
Yeah, I like him.
Tajay Sharp.
Yeah. All right, Calvin Ridley, or any of the Green Bay wide receivers.
Oh, Christian Watson.
He's been injured a lot this year.
I
Though.
still think Calvin Ridley, man. I don't know. I don't like the Packers.
I think they're going to have to figure out how to use Calvin Ridley, right? Because he's too talented.
Yeah.
You know he's not doing well? T. Higgins or Tyler Lockett?
Well, Lockett's
T. Higgins
injured.
has been terrible for me.
Lockett's injured.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, the Bengals, that's an interesting team. Do you think the Bengals in the second half can turn things around? Because they have been awful. If you were banking on any Bengals players, Joe Burrow, Chase, Mixon, you're not doing well. But do you think they can turn it around the second half?
I think so, right? Isn't this a contract year for him, right? So that's why I expect him to do better to come second half. They cannot be this bad.
But or maybe Burrow is still hurt and he's not going to be really fully healthy. Because clearly we knew something was wrong. Like they did not look right. And then finally everyone's like, okay, Burrow's injury is more significant than we had said. But is he back to normal? I don't know.
And I would say Joe Mixon is probably one of the most uninspiring players you could ever watch. He is just so boring.
Yeah. He doesn't. I agree.
But you got to think with a team with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow that they've got to fix it, right? Like, I mean, they went through the same thing last year where they were not good at the beginning, and midway something just like turned on them, and they started like putting up some numbers, right? And so I'm thinking that maybe the second half is when they start clicking a little bit more. Because, for instance, T. Higgins has got to do it. He's playing for a contract right now. Oh, so here's the thing: T. Higgins or what's his name? Who's the wide receiver? Adam
Thielen?
Yeah, Thielen.
I do like Thielen. Thielen has gotten a lot of points. Right before the bye week, he got me 27 points.
Hey, Josh Palmer on the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
Finally. Palmer finally hit. So that would be one I would like.
Or not only Josh, what about Josh Downs?
Josh Downs from the Colts is pretty good, too. I actually like Josh Downs a lot.
You know, Gardner Minshew in the Colts, he's done better than I thought. I didn't.
By the way, it's 4th and 4. Buffalo's throwing the ball right now.
Oh, interesting.
But go ahead.
They're up, right? 24.
They're up
24-10. Why are they going for it? Oh, it's because they're on the 45.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gardner Minshew has been a lot better. That's basically why Jonathan Taylor, you got to be happy because, you know, at least Gardner Minshew can keep the defense honest. And so I think Taylor's going to have a really good second half. But yeah, Minshew has been pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Jed, I had our intern work out these stats.
Ooh.
He picked who is 1, 2, 3, 4. Who are, if you could name it, who are the 5 best players who has had the best value so far this year, based upon their average draft pick, everything like that? Who has been the best values? Which 5 players?
Puka
for sure.
Puka's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Richardson before he got injured, I bet is up there, right?
No,
not Richardson.
not enough games. Montgomery has got to be top 5.
Yep, top 5.
Yep.
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert, another one.
3.
Yeah.
The running back out of the Rams,
Kyren Williams.
Yeah.
Yep.
One more.
And then who's the last one?
Let me look. I know. Hold on. Let me look.
Oh, yeah, who's the last one? Oh man,
Michigan grad.
Ugh.
Michigan.
Detroit Lions.
Oh,
St.
Amon Brown.
Nope, Sam Laporta.
Oh, Laporta, of course.
Yeah. Sam Laporta.
Oh, Sam Laporta's from Iowa. He's not from Michigan.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Puka, Kyren Williams, Sam Laporta, Raheem Mostert, and if I was to name one more, Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. I wouldn't have got that one, but we did pretty good. We got 4. That was pretty good.
No, I'm telling you, right? Like as an aside, I'm telling you, all those top running backs right? If you think about the Chubbs of the world, the Mixons of the world, the Barkleys of the world, the Pollards of the world, none of them are doing that good.
No.
I mean, you were better off picking a Travis Kelce,
Yeah.
number one, and then falling in line with all these other like folks towards the end, second and third rounds.
Hey,
You're better off
ETN.
picking. You're better off picking Travis Kelce, ETN, or Patrick Mahomes, and then go to lower running backs.
Yeah.
I'm telling
ETN
you,
has been good, man. He came in late too.
those quarterbacks make a difference. If you had picked Mahomes, even Allen, some of those guys are doing pretty good.
Well, this year on our team, I've got Tua and Justin Herbert, and if the season ended today, I would keep both in the keeper.
Wait, who's better fantasy wise, Tua or Justin Herbert? Herbert, right?
No, Tua.
No,
Tua.
but last week, Tua only got what, 4 points last week?
No. Over the season, Tua's definitely been better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no question. Herbert has been a little bit on and off. I don't know if it's because of the the injuries to his wide receivers, but see, Tua's the 7th best ranked, and what is Herbert?
Yeah.
Herbert
By
is
the way,
12.
Damon Lillard scored 39 in his Bucks debut today against the Sixers.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about
I gotta
Giannis?
I gotta get tickets for that.
What when he
The Bucks.
plays?
Yeah, because I'm close. I'm like 30 minutes from the stadium, so I could go watch that.
I started looking to see if I can get some Arizona Diamondbacks World Series tickets, but they're too expensive.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, let's run through a couple of games. All right. Let's see where we're at. Bucks Bills, we're doing it. Okay. Let's look at the New York game. I didn't put this on the list for you guys, but Jets Giants. Do you think Zach Wilson versus Tyrod Taylor? Do you think the Jets can win this thing?
Nobody's gonna. You didn't put it on the list because nobody's gonna watch that game outside.
Hey, it's a New York game. Jets
exactly. It's so only the people in New York are gonna watch it. No one else wants to watch that game.
But at the same time, I will play Breece Hall and let Breece Hall run all day.
Yeah, Breece Hall. Yeah, there you go. I'm glad that he's paid out for those of you who waited. I like Breece Hall.
Just give Breece Hall.
I know Breece Hall started off slow, but I would imagine if you look towards the end of the season in terms of value picks, Breece Hall is pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd keep him. If I had him in keeper, I'd keep him.
Yeah. Saints versus Colts. Minshew versus Derek Carr. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you think is going to do well from this game?
I would say keep giving it to Jonathan Taylor, and he continues to get stronger and stronger. Even though I spent $100 of my money on Zach Moss, I'm going all day with Jonathan Taylor.
Do you think they're going to trade Zach Moss?
I don't know. Well, I will keep him because he's pretty cheap. I would just keep him.
Yeah, I like the Colts in this one too. The Colts are 1-point favorites at home, which again means that most people think the Saints are going to win, but I like the Colts.
Yeah, I think fantasy-wise, Josh Downs is good, right? I do have some belief in Gardner Minshew and from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, if you need a quarterback, if your quarterback's on a bye, Minshew is a guy you should take a look at.
I'll tell you this. I don't know what you guys think. Olave has been a disappointment this year.
Yeah. Well, the Saints in general, I would say they've been a disappointment.
Yeah. Tom, Texans versus Panthers. This is literally number 1 versus number 2 quarterback. Who do you think is going to win out of this?
Oh, I think a lot of times the Houston Texans. I am rooting against the Carolina Panthers every single game because every single time they lose, the Bears get one step closer to Marvin Harrison Jr.
I agree with that. I like, regardless, I like the Texans better. You got to pick better games. You're picking like the worst teams, man. Pick some of the better games.
No, but here's the reason why I wanted to talk about this game. Dameon Pierce versus Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary led all of the led the rushing last week. Do you think that Dameon Pierce is even a worthwhile fantasy play?
No, I've been benching him across the board. I'm a huge Dameon Pierce fan last year. I picked him up in almost all my leagues, but I've been benching him for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Singletary led the league in rushing yesterday?
No, he led the team in rushing last week. He led the team last week in Singletary. Singletary's actually become they blame it on the line, but last week Singletary did better than Pierce in terms of rushing.
Yeah. But pretty much your only game right there is Adam Thielen, CJ Stroud, and also Miko Collins. That's the only one. Maybe Tank.
Tank Dell is not bad.
Yeah, maybe Tank. You'll watch.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we talked about this, but who do you think is going to be the running back to own, Hubbard or Sanders?
Oh, Hubbard.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like Carolina players to begin with, so
I don't know. Adam Thielen, he seems to be doing well this year.
But again, it's because he's the only one they could throw to. There's no one else.
Yeah. Bengals versus 49ers. Here's a good matchup, Jed. But Sam Darnold, like we said, is going to be the starting quarterback for 49ers.
yeah, this line's, if anyone's a better out there, this line's going to move because the 49ers are 5.5. They opened at 5.5 point favorites. But if the 49ers, if Brock Purdy is not playing, that number's got to drop because otherwise I'm taking the Bengals all day.
Do you guys know if Debo's playing? I haven't looked. Debo Samuel?
Don't know.
I'll check.
Oh no, he's not playing. Only Ayuk is playing. So
Okay.
Deebo Samuel, he has a slight hairline fracture in his shoulder, in his
Okay.
rotator.
Kittle had a good week last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiddo has a great week.
Yeah,
My
because
biggest problem with Kiddo is I have Kiddo and Darren Waller, so I'm always trying to figure out: do I play Darren Waller? Do I play Kiddo? So I'm always struggling with those two.
I play Kittle this week because if it's the backup quarterback, if it's Darnold, Kittle's going to be his guy. I would go there.
Jamar Chase scored week 5, scored almost 45 fantasy points. Week 6, right before the bye, he only scored 11 points. How well do you think he'll do this week against the San Francisco defense?
Yeah, that's a tough call, but I think it's going to be a shootout. I mean, they're going to be behind. They're going to have to. Well, actually, no. They should. I don't know. See, without Purdy there, that changes everything. So, I mean, I'd play him. I'd still play Chase no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, he really is the number one wide receiver right now out there with Justin Jefferson out. He's number one fantasy wide receiver. So, all right, Rams versus Cowboys. Do you think that Pollard is going to continue to stink it up?
Oh, he's been such a disappointment. I hope not. The better question probably is who's the running back for the Rams now?
I think it's going to be Henderson.
Is it Henderson?
I think
Even
so.
though on Monday they threw him back on the practice squad, but I'm not sure if they're going to reactivate him. So they're going to just keep playing this game. But Darrell Henderson, uninspiring. Hey, look, Royce O'Neal is even worse. All right. So, I mean, Darrell Henderson's it.
Yeah, this one's in Dallas. So you would think hopefully Pollard can finally get something. But he has been such a disappointment. This is a perfect example. We told you guys when the number 2, Pollard and Madison, when they, everyone's like, oh, they should be the number 1 when they were the number 1. If they have their number 2 numbers and you just project the extra carries, they're going to be great. But it doesn't always work that way. Suddenly they become a number 1 and they can't handle it.
I've been disappointed at Pollard because I spent quite a bit of money in a number of leagues on Pollard, and I've been disappointed by him.
And I am really hoping Dan Quinn and a Dallas defense comes back because they've been killing me the last 2 games.
Oh, last week I had the Bills defense, and then they freaking lost to the Patriots. Who would have saw that coming? I could not believe that game. The Bills defense was horrendous.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I've been wrong about Puka because last week he was the number 1 receiver. He scored close to 30 fantasy points, and Cooper Kupp was the second guy, right? Even though the week before that, he led all receivers. Who do you think is going to be the better receiver to own going forward, Puka or Cooper Kupp?
Both of them are going to be the same. Now, I bet you either one each week, one person's going to be better than the other one, but they're both, you cannot go wrong with either one of them.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love having Puka, but I would take either of those guys because not only you don't even have to worry about the touchdowns because they get, particularly if you're in a PPR league, points per reception league, they each get like 10 plus catches. So even if they only got 80 yards, you got 10 plus catches. That's a 20-point fantasy game.
And for some reason, Tutu Atwell keeps getting all the touchdowns.
Touchdowns, yeah, he gets the touchdown.
He always gets the touchdowns. Tutu Atwell.
But man, Puka has been great. He's a fun guy. I really enjoy in fantasy, just having players on your team that you just like watching and that you think are fun players to watch. And he's one of those guys.
I'm telling you, last week, Puka impressed me because I thought that once Cooper Kupp came back, but Puka did well last week.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I don't have it in front of me, but what's the line between Chiefs and Broncos? I would imagine Chiefs are highly favored for this game.
8.5 points, 8.5 point favorites, Chiefs. Even though it's in Denver, but yeah, you're definitely taking the Chiefs all day long on this one.
Yeah.
This is the week I would consider playing Chiefs wide receivers and Chiefs running backs. So they re-signed, what is it? Hardman? They re-signed Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, so I'd consider throwing him in there.
Rashee Rice has been going for the only person who has not done well for Chiefs, Kadarius Toney. I've seen a lot of people drop him.
Yeah.
But guys, keep playing Rashee Rice. He keeps doing very, very well the last 2 weeks.
He scored another touchdown last week for Mahomes.
Yep, Rashee Rice.
How about Javonte Williams for the Broncos? Is he worth the play?
You know what? He gets about 5 yards a carry. I've been seeing him a lot of times, watching him. He's slowly coming back from his ACL injury.
But that other kid actually is McLaughlin is the other guy. He's been good. I wish they would give him more carries because his averages have been good.
Yeah. I thought P. Ryan was going to make a bigger difference, but he really hasn't done anything this year. All right. Hey, 2 more games. Bears versus Chargers. We talked about that. Tom, you think the Bears might actually have a chance against the Chargers, right?
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, I mean, I'm still going to root for the Bears on this one. I think I'm going to go on the limb and say they're going to win. They're going to win a close one, but they're going to win.
I mean, I'm going to be cheering for the Bears, guys, but you guys are crazy. There is no way the Bears are going to win. I'm going to be cheering for them, but they ain't going to win.
But okay, think about IDP. What do you call it? What's his name? Who's playing? It's a revenge game for him. Who's the Bears player? Tip of my tongue.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Khalil. I think actually he might have a decent game for IDP player.
But Khalil Mack's not on the Bears anymore, right?
No, he's on the Chargers.
Oh, you mean the flip way? I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, but I think here's my concern. Do you think what do you call it? I'm losing all these guys right now.
Tyler Padgett?
No, Austin Eckler. He's had 2 bad games. You think he'll come back against the Bears?
Yeah, it's probably a good spot. I mean, I think he was working his way back from injuries. So, I mean, you got Austin Eckler. You cannot sit that guy. You're playing Austin Eckler. So just play him and hope he's back.
Yeah. Okay, Monday night game. I actually think this might be a pretty decent game. Raiders versus Lions. Do you guys have confidence in Devontae Adams?
No, it's going to be a Lions. The Lions are going to kill the Raiders.
Yeah, Lions are 7.5 point favorites. They had a bad, what was it, last week that they lost?
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, they had a bad game. So I expect a bounce back game for the Lions. It's at home too. So it's a perfect game for the Lions to get back into things. They've been a fun team to watch too.
David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs, second half?
Man, Montgomery has been so good. I got to say Montgomery.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah.
Oh, man, I like
Here's the argument. I actually heard them talking about it this morning. Here's the argument against David Montgomery. Yes, he's been good, but they've really relied on him, and he's gone out a couple times already.
Yeah,
right.
Banked up.
And so here's my thing: is yes, he might be good, but going forward, they may not want to use him as much and use him only in selective plays so that they can keep him from injuring himself.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I'm also here's my bet for next year. Jim Harbaugh, next Bears coach, Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad.
They are driving him out from the University of Michigan, and he keeps getting in trouble. He's coming to the Bears next year.
But don't you feel like that's the thing with Jim Harbaugh, though? He's the type of guy who he pushes you and drives you for a certain amount of time.
5 years.
Yeah,
5
and
years.
at some point they get sick and tired of him, and they want to kick him out and boot him somewhere else.
Hey, would you guys play Tony Pollard we didn't talk about this? Tony Pollard or Kareem Hunt?
Tony Pollard.
You cannot play Tony Pollard. And I actually think that it'll be a pretty high score game. They're going to need Pollard in scoring.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Can we talk about basketball for a little bit?
Hey, did you guys watch the Spurs versus Mavericks game last night?
I watched Luka Doncic go crazy.
Yeah, he had double Wembanyama's points. So
Hey Tom, weren't you in Dallas yesterday, or were you in Austin?
No, I was in Austin.
Oh, if I were you, I would have stayed in Dallas one more night so you can watch the Dallas versus Spurs game.
Oh,
Hey.
there is nothing better than when Luka Doncic just goes crazy and he just shoots and he sits there, pops, and he makes those threes. It is great.
Hey, I heard this pretty cool bet today. I don't know if it's still out there, but they said there was a bet Vegas was making that was paying 8-1 odds. And basically it was if Wembanyama leads the leagues in blocks and Steph Curry leads the league in 3-pointers, then you get a 1-8 payout.
8-1. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Let me tell you, that guy is long. Did you? Okay, so here's a piece of trivia I found. Wembanyama scored 15 points. That's how much David Robinson scored on his first game as a rookie for the Spurs, and he ended up winning Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Wembanyama is going to win as long as he doesn't get hurt. He's going to win Rookie of the Year, guaranteed. Yeah.
Because Scoot Henderson didn't do anything for me in Portland. I was watching him. He didn't do anything yesterday. And did you see that the Bulls had a players-only meeting yesterday, but because they lost by 20 to the Oklahoma Thunder?
Dude, the Thunder are good, man. Chet Holmgren, that's the other guy. I think he's gonna.
Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren, they're good. They're a good team. They're fun.
Shea Alexander, it's a very good team.
Yeah.
A couple players for you guys to watch. Cam Thomas, sitting on the bench, 6th man of the year candidate, 36 points yesterday.
Wait, who's he with?
Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, was he really?
Yep.
Oh.
And then also Cleveland Cavaliers, Max Strus, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 7 threes.
Wow.
The Cavs are going to be better than people think this year. I mean, they were good last year, but they're going to be even better this year.
Yep. Another guy to pay attention to, 6th man of the year candidate, quickly over from the New York Knicks, and Damon Schroeder, who is now taking over for Fred VanVleet over at the Toronto as their starting point guard.
I like Schroeder. Schroeder is good. Quigley is still not consistent.
Yeah.
He has the talent, but he's not consistent. But I like Schroeder a lot.
Tom, how the heck do you pay attention to all of these things? There's no way I can even pay attention to all of these guys.
When I am sitting there laying in bed in the middle of the night, around 4:00 in the morning, I'm awake. I'm sitting there scrolling through all my news.
Oh, Mike Evans almost had a touchdown. Big pick.
Let's get that to Godwin.
24-10
Hey,
in the fourth quarter.
Jed, I'm loving my keeper league, my NBA keeper league with Giannis and Jokic and all those guys like that, Steph Curry. I am in love with that team.
Oh, I think I'm the only team that maybe can give you a run. We'll see. So for those of you who don't know, our keeper, you keep 4. And so I had Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, Kyrie Irving, and Jason Tatum, and then I drafted Wembanyama. So I think my top 5 is the closest to your top 5. The problem is the rest of my team sucks because I spent $150 on Wembanyama, so I got no money.
Jed, you are welcome. You know why I chose at the end?
Why didn't you do it? Yeah,
because I enjoy the drafting process. And I decided to go because I was like, you know what? If I picked him, I was just sitting there the rest of the game, and I was like, I really enjoy drafting to pick, so I decided to go for that.
Yeah, so I didn't draft again for an hour after I got him first. I didn't get another pick for another hour. But you know what? I love having him. He's so fun to watch. He's just so if you guys haven't heard this, to me, you always like those players who they literally change how everyone else has to play the game. So if you haven't heard this, a lot of NBA teams now, in preparation for Wembanyama, they're buying these extenders.
Oh yes, I saw that. I saw those.
It's because
he's so long, right?
Because their players aren't used to the guy's length, and so just think of that. These are professional NBA players, and they are flinching when Wembanyama comes, and that just tells you the guy is different.
Do you guys think that James Harden's going to play for the Sixers again?
No.
He was at practice, but they said that everybody was surprised he showed up. So I don't know.
And he was about to jump onto the team plane. He said, No, you're not going on the team plane. You stay at home.
Yeah.
What a sad story, man. That guy had so much talent.
But at the same time, in two of my leagues, I've been picking James Harden and John Morant sitting there in my IL waiting for the second half for them to come.
Man, I wanted John Morant. That was the one guy I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend my other $50 on John Morant. I couldn't get it.
I wonder how Austin Reeves did yesterday. I haven't looked at the game, but all the morning news shows have been criticizing Anthony Davis because they said he's such a bum and he doesn't work hard.
Yeah. One guy to pick up to watch, Derek Lively, the rookie center over at the Dallas Mavericks. They don't have a lot of size. And so yesterday night, he scored 16 points, 10 rebounds. And he was hustling. He was getting all these rebounds. He was making all these screens. He did pretty well, especially in the fourth quarter.
Tom, I saw you pick him up in a couple of leagues, and I figure you were watching the Dallas versus Spurs game. Yeah, he was everywhere in the fourth quarter. And they said, who is this guy? He's outplaying the rookie of the year. And I said, seriously, I'm picking this guy up. Yeah. My guess is they're going to take, he had, Wembanyama had 5 fouls. They're going to take him slow, but you're right. He's going to eventually be rookie of the year.
Oh, he is phenomenal. I mean, he's so smooth. That's the thing. People have been calling him a taller Kevin Durant. And that's exactly right. His shooting stroke is nice. Like, it's not like a forced shot. It is smooth. So it's just going to be fun.
Well, it's like watching Luka Doncic. Sometimes when you watch that guy, I was like, that guy does not look like a basketball player. But his shots are pretty good, right? Like, I was watching him shoot a couple of those 3-pointers, and he's just kind of, he doesn't even try. It goes.
I am a huge fan of watching Denver and Dallas games.
Yeah.
I will watch them over the Bulls games all day. If Denver and Dallas are on, I'm watching them.
Yeah. By the way, I did not know DeMar DeRozan's. He's in a contract year, so most likely he'll be traded this year. So, anyways,
I trade all of those guys. Get rid of the entire team.
All right. Well, there's just a sack of the Tampa Bay quarterback. It's still 24-10. I wouldn't mind if they try to make it close a little bit and score another touchdown to make it 24-17.
Yeah, this game's over.
Yeah.
All right. I got to run on you. I got to do homework with the girls.
Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, sounds good.